Well, hello and hallelujah. It's me, Shangela.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bob the Drag Queen, one of the hosts of We're Here on HBO.
And I'm here with BuzzFeed for burning questions.
Ooh, they're hot. These questions are hot.
How were you approached for We're Here? And did you know that there would be other drag queens involved? I was actually called by Stephen Warren and Johnny Ingram, the show creators. And I remember this specifically because I was at opening night of the Ariana Grande Sweetener Tour in Albany, New York. I was backstage with my friend Frankie, and we were about to see Ariana and say, oh my God, you are fabulous. And right when she comes out, my phone rings and it's Stephen Warren. And he had texted me earlier, like, I'm gonna call you, it's very important. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I love you. Hold on one second. And I remember answering the phone and being like, yes. And he's giving me the whole spiel about the show. And honestly, I probably would have agreed to anything because I was like, yes, of course. Sounds lovely, baby. 1 second. Oh, Ariana. I gotta go, baby. I gotta go. I have pictures in black and white from that night because it was just so amazing. Oh, this is it. Can you see it? Did I know that there were gonna be other drag queens involved? Maybe he said it on the phone, but honestly, I was so excited to go tell Ariana she had killed it in the show that I don't even remember. But I do remember when they first invited us to their home to pitch us the show, I saw Bob and Eureka and I was just thrilled. I already knew them from Drag Race, and to be able to work with them in this capacity, it just made sense because this show is about going to small conservative towns across America. I grew up in a small conservative town in America, so I was like, baby, let's do it.
I was approached by Stephen Warren, who's one of the creators of We're Here. And he was like, I have an idea for a show, but I can't tell you over the phone. I need you to come to meet me at this hotel, in this restaurant, and we'll chat. And then he pitched the idea to me, and I absolutely loved it.
Well, Stephen Warren calls me and he's like, hey, is this Eureka? And I'm like, yes, this is Eureka. And he's like, listen, huge fan, want to meet you for lunch. I've got a show idea. And the craziest thing is that when I was going in, I actually ran into Zachary Quinto, whom is my drag daughter from a Them makeup thing that I did where I put Zachary in drag as no offense. So when I ran into him, I met with Steve and Johnny, but then when I was leaving, I had a text from Zachary saying, you know, whatever the idea is for the show, do it. Stephen Warren's the greatest guy to be in contact with in the industry, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of had that reassurance. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm doing it. I was immediately obsessed with the idea of it being Bob and Shangela because I knew of who they were, what they could bring to the table. For me, it was like Bob the drag queen is like such an activist and has this way with political culture and being in the know and in the now, but also being a beloved queen from the franchise. And then Shangela being such a resourceful queen, business professional, never knowing a stranger, so good at communication. It just made sense for her as well to me. And then obviously I was the best for the job as far as who I am, at least in my eyes, because I was excited about this idea of what the show was. That's the tea.
We're Here has a lot of emotional moments. Was there a moment you filmed that you had to stop filming because you were crying too much? In one of the towns we were there for the 4th of July, I actually kind of like ran away from the cameras before they could film me. And I was watching these fireworks on the 4th of July and I was having like a really emotional response to celebrating the 4th of July in this town as a marginalized person. And I was thinking about like indigenous people and what it means to be American and who has rights here and who doesn't have rights here and missing people. And in the moment, it really overwhelmed me. And I literally just like ran from the camera in full drag. It was actually really wild.
Honestly, not the biggest crier on the show. I think the crier people goes from like, Eureka cries the most, Bob is a close second, and then there's me. I mean, I do get very emotional and attached, but I've just never been a big crying person. I've been more like, okay, let's figure out the solution. Let's just get through this. Was there ever a moment they had to stop because I was crying? No, but maybe because I was shedding tears and I didn't want it going through my makeup. So I was like, can we stop real quick so I can just touch up, please? There are so many emotional moments on this show that would make anybody cry. There's gonna be laughs, it's gonna be fun, but baby, bring the Kleenex.
I am a crier. I'm an emotional person. There's probably been a couple moments where I was very emotional. One specifically was Farmington, New Mexico with DJ, whom was the sibling that had committed suicide. and their family, Jocelyn and Jasmine. It was just so sweet, but also so emotional and sad. Like, I did have to kind of step away and have a few moments at different moments. Like, that was probably the hardest emotionally on me, was that story, for sure.
Next question. We're Here deals a lot with the topic of living your life as your true authentic self. What advice or words of encouragement would you give to someone who is struggling with coming out or with their gender identity? You know, as you're figuring out who you are, Just continue to love yourself through the process. And don't be afraid of owning and loving all the parts of who you are, because they actually are very beautiful.
You know, my words of encouragement for people that are coming out or gender identity, either one, is kind of similar, because it's like, to me, I say, take the time that you need, right? The stipulations of society and other people's expectations do not matter. It's about your comfort. And that goes along with like when, that goes along with how you come out or how you identify. Make sure that you're ready and that you have people that you love and that you know love you in return around you.
You owe no one any answers or absolutes. It is okay to explore your gender identity. You don't have to be beholden to what you said last year, last week, or a minute ago. As you discover new things about yourself, feel free to update people, and that is your business to tell people. You don't have to tell anyone anything you don't want to tell them. It's about being comfortable with yourself and making sure that you feel comfortable around other people. So just know that your journey is yours. You don't have to follow a blueprint. You have to do what feels good for you.
Of the three of you, who is the biggest diva and who takes the longest to get ready? That is Shangela, house boots down, kitty mama, okay? Shangela is such a diva, but in like a loving, beautiful way. And she takes the longest to get ready, period.
Shangela's the biggest diva, and she takes the longest to get ready. That is a quick and easy answer. Shangela's the biggest diva, and she takes the longest to get ready. Hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. This is not even up for debate.
Okay, if those girls say me, you make sure you circle back to me and let me know, okay? Because a lot of times they will say me. I feel like they're gonna say me, but it is not me. What is a diva, honestly? If it's someone who is committed to putting their best foot forward at most, if not at all times, then most definitely I can be considered a diva. I mean, Beyonce said a diva is the female version of a hustler, and I'm truly a hustler. Ask any of my drag kids, ask any of the people I work with, Shanji comes to work, okay? So if that's a diva, that might be me. Who takes the longest to get ready? It used to be me, but then when it was me, I started like making a big effort to be first. If I'm first, I go down with a belt and I'm ringing it outside. Let it be known, Shanji was here first. Hallelujah.
I'm glad she's working on it. It's a work in progress, but it's not done, Mary.
If you could bring a fellow Rue girl to be a special guest star on an episode of We're Here, who would it be and why? You know, I think someone like Ginger Minge or Nina West, someone like that who has like very much the emotional capacity would be fun. I also think it'd be interesting to bring people with cultural difference. Like I would love to see like Jackie Cox maybe be a special guest for someone that's Muslim. So basically a queen of difference, be there to be kind of a coach to someone that's had a similar lifestyle as them. That'd be cool.
You know, Monet Exchange is just my best friend and one of my favorite drag queens of all time. I just love spending time with her. And I think that she's really remarkable, has a really great message. Being from St. Lucia and from New York City, she has a lot of experience to pull from for a lot of non-binary queer Black people and queer people in general.
It has to be my drag mother, Alyssa Edwards. Not only is she a Texan like me and has a big heart, and she's also a showgirl. We love a good show. And she knows what it's like to be a coach and a positive spirit and motivating spirit in someone's life. So if we ever have a mothers and daughters episode, trust the Duchess, honey. You might see me and Alyssa together. What's the one challenge on Drag Race or All Stars that you wish you could go back and redo? Well, I think I did them all. For All Stars, I think we had a redemption. I won that episode. If there was anything I could go back and redo, definitely wouldn't be any of the sewing challenges. I would love to go back and redo my Snatch game in season 3 of Drag Race. I love Tina Turner, okay? I love me some Tina Turner. In season 3 of Drag Race, I did Tina for the Snatch game, but for some reason, I felt like my nostrils looked smaller on TV, so I wanted to increase them with black shadow. So I did that thinking that was Tina Turner, and I just kept going, hallelujah, Ike, hallelujah. And I love Tina. I know, so I could sing Simply the Best right now. I could give you Tina. I watched What's Love Got to Do with It 45 times. I lived in Jennifer Lewis's basement, who played Tina Turner's mama. If I can't give you Tina Turner at this point and win, baby, just pack me up back to the house. Come on, if I come out the back, that's Tina. That's Tina.
So probably season 10, the Farmer-rusical. I was in such a weird place where I was in my head, just terrified to go home that it caused me to mess up. I wish I could have went back and gotten myself out of those nerves. That's the one that almost sent me home, episode 2 of season 10. Thank God old Calorie Kardashian didn't stand a chance against these lip sync chops.
I don't think that I have any redo. I really did a good job and I won. And that's not me being egotistical, but like, I genuinely couldn't ask for a better outcome. You know what I mean? Like everything really worked out for me. So I would say that I wouldn't redo anything. There were some challenges where I wasn't my best, but it ended up working out for me, you know?
So my next question is it hard for you to go back and watch the younger version of yourself compete on your original seasons of Drag Race? Hell yeah. It's cringy, you know, because you see how young you are and silly, you know what I mean? And the things like you can see the gears turning in your head and the things that you were worried about that aren't really necessary to worry about the more mature and the older you get. I mean, I first got on Drag Race when I was 25 years old and I'm 31 now. So it's 6 years ago. And it's just crazy how much you grow in 6 years, especially with this amount of fame and exposure. So it's like little baby Eureka out there and she's super country and she's just, hi y'all, boo, 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 boo. It's something else for sure.
No, it is not hard. I always do it with basically a warning label for anyone who's watching it with me. Like, okay, y'all already know that I don't look like this no more, right? So don't be trying to give me tips and stuff, right? Based on this right here, because baby, I don't do that no more. When I see myself back then, I'm like, ooh, look at little baby Shinji. Oh Lord. So it's not hard to watch, but sometimes I do put my head down and go, here she comes. Here she comes. Because you couldn't tell me I wasn't winning. The delusion of drag was very much in full effect. Even the All-Stars 3, even though I didn't love the way that it ended, obviously, I can still watch the season because it was a victory lap for me in a way. It had been 7 years since I'd been on the show. I knew that I had grown and evolved. I have now 7 years in the experience of being a queen and putting things together myself, even though I still couldn't. So it just was cool to go in there and be like, I want to win. But even if I don't win, I want to be able to showcase who I am today. So come on, Shange, let's put our best foot forward. And I felt confident in doing that because I knew that I could.
No, I thought I did great. I did a really good job. I think that if I didn't win, I'd probably have a different story. I wasn't particularly great at makeup or anything back then, but I stand by a lot of what I did on that show. I think I looked great. I think that I was funny. I think that I was charming. I was myself. I don't feel like I was being phony. So I'm really proud of the work I did on that show.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for having me on BuzzFeed for Burning Questions.
Make sure that you tune in to We're Here, now streaming on HBO Max. It's fabulous.
So come out and watch We're Here. You know what you want to do? If you want to tell your mom you're gay, just turn on We're Here. She'll know. Like you'll be watching, you'll be like, that's me. I'm just like them. And then you'll bond and you'll cry.